if you were to say to me, that animal is the sexiest animal.
I've said this about Pokemon before.
But Pokemon aren't real. Animals are.
Which makes the whole question feel far more palatable.
than a real... But I'm not
Yes.
interested in palatable. I'm interested in raw, down-to-earth moments, you know? Like, what is
I
this?
assume... I didn't even let you get to the end of that question because I assume the question was which animal would I want to fuck the most?
No, not that. Just objectively, what animal do you think is the sexiest looking animal? And though there doesn't have to be any physical interaction with the animal, you just look at it and go, "Oof, that's a sexy animal," and that's it. What animal would you be talking about?
Honestly?
Hmm.
None.
None. You don't think there's any sexy animals?
All right, let me flip the question, bounce it back to you. What's your
Okay.
answer?
I think the sexiest animal is.
I think I'm going to let my silence say everything it needs to say about this horrific cold open.
I want to, for the record, I don't want to fuck.
No, you just find them sexy. I think that's what pedophiles say.
I'm choosing that
They
we
use
do.
that same logic. Hey, whoa! I'm one of the good pedos. I don't want to have sex with the kids. I just find them attractive.
Now that we're
You happy? Happy with this cold open?
now that we're where we are at, I'm not happy with it. No,
It's the one that's staying. Let me tell you that. That's the one that's locked in. You can sensibly whichever bit you want, but if you change much of that, I will fucking leave the podcast.
I don't know why I thought that would be a good idea.
Would you? Do you wish we'd maybe just spoke about Pokemon because it's slightly more palatable?
It's Meandering Movies. It's Meandering Movies. It's Meandering Movies. So won't you lend an ear?
One, two, three, four. It's the Meandering Movie Podcast with Gary and Gavin coming in your ears. I'm gonna sing the whole episode. It's a musical episode like they did in that one episode of Buffy and Glee.
I think every episode of Glee they sang.
They might have. Oh, fuck. I think you're right. I think they did. Well, I'm not going to do that for the rest of the episode.
As you fucked that one.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Meandering Movie Podcast, where it is a ring, ding, bling, 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 ding, 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 bing, bing, bing. That's like a Christmas music.
Do you want to know what
If I had jingle bells, I'd be jingling them down the. Have I ever said this on the podcast? Sorry, wait. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Meandering Movie Podcast. It's our Christmas episode. It's the beautiful month of December. The snow is falling. The geese have all gone south. Kris Kringle is looking through his naughty and nice list, ticking my name off the nice list, and then writing a big fat X next to Gavin's name on the naughty
and
list.
what? Oh, you've already said that, my name. But what are the
You can
names?
do another name.
What?
You can do another name.
Oh,
Because it's Christmas. I'll let you.
Oh, like a present. My name is the bag of coal at the end of your bed when Santa thinks that you have been a naughty person. Gavin Stewart.
You know what's funny about... I like that name. That's one of your better ones. But you know what's funny about it?
Mm-hmm.
Santa wouldn't give a bag of coal.
Because coal's expensive?
Well, because a bag of coal is useful. It could be perceived as a gift. The best thing about when you've been naughty is that Santa leaves you a single rock of coal, which is just the fucking worst.
I guess also in the cost of living crisis, Santa's not exactly going to up his coal output, is he? He's going to reduce his coal output. So maybe
does Santa Claus make... Does the cost of living crisis affect Santa Claus?
I mean,
is Santa Claus up in his den, and he's like, "Well, kids will want PS5s, but that shit's expensive."
I guess it depends on, does Santa buy in the parts to build these toys, like the elves and such,
or is he just got to deal with Sony?
where he just She's just got like a
Look, 50% of your production's got to come to the Christmas day, all right? Look, I know it's a hassle. I know you want to sell them more. You're going to have to tell everyone that there's a shortage of PS5s, but I need my 50%, all right?
Santa hangs up and then he has to phone up Microsoft. Right, so I've got the 50% thing and he has to do that for every single company. It's just like, I'm Santa.
Yeah, what I was going to say is, I don't know if I've ever said this, but I appreciate this bit may be seen as slightly pastiche and old school, but I'm going to go through with it anyway while it's a Christmas episode. I solved the "is Die Hard a Christmas movie?" argument. Now, you can apply this to any film, so it doesn't need to be Die Hard.
Okay.
You can apply it to absolutely any movie. It's a solid rule that fits everything. So it answers the question, is any movie a Christmas movie definitively?
I also have solved this. I'm interested if you've solved it the same way.
Have you solved
No, you're. It's all. The floor is yours, please, sir.
So my definitive rule is, if your movie, not in the soundtrack, but in the score, so in the written music made by your Silvestris, your what's the Star Wars guy?
John Williams.
John Williams. The physical score, if the score incorporates Jingle Bells, which is a unique Christmas instrument, which is only really used for Christmas tunes, if the score incorporates Jingle Bells, it is a Christmas movie. Following that logic, Die Hard is a Christmas film.
I'm so glad you've said this, because this is the exact same rule that I have said to people.
Well, you stole it off me then.
We've never talked about it before. For example, my girlfriend has...
It's like the fifth episode in a row where you've real fucking hammed that one in there. You like crowbarred it in.
Well, if we have anyone who's listened to all of this podcast, they will know the journey that I've gone on to get to where I am
think
now.
anyone's... We had that one listener at one point, remember? Who nobody knew.
Your mum?
No. She sent us an email at one point being like, "Hey guys, I actually really like your podcast. Thanks for the fun." And then we fucked it off for a year and we probably lost her.
Well, yeah, we lost a lot during COVID.
It's because we didn't do anything during COVID.
Well, I guess I didn't gain my girlfriend during COVID. I also didn't gain her, and this has gone really bad, really quickly.
Let's circle back to the intro. Really coming up with a lot of real horrible shit you've been saying today.
Christmas! My girlfriend insists that Die Hard is not a Christmas movie, and I continue to state to her that because it involves Christmas music, and as you say, the Jingle Bells song in the score, that automatically makes it a Christmas movie. She does not accept this.
No, she's wrong.
Thank you. I agree. She is wrong. It's nice for someone to finally be on my side.
Because the thing is, I don't give a fuck about Die Hard. I'm sick of the whole Die Hard, especially because it became one of those internet I believe Die Hard's a Christmas movie, and that shows I'm an individual. Fuck off.
Yeah, the amount of people.
If that's how you prove your individuality, you are so far down on my list of people that I want to call a friend.
Wouldn't you much rather prove your individuality by explicitly stating what animal you think is sexy?
Why am I friends with you?
I don't know.
Remind me. But yeah, that's the definitive rule.
I give you crisps.
You did. They were pretty good. Fucking calorific, though.
Calorific. They were from M&S.
That's probably why they're calorific.
Because they're from M&S?
Oh yeah, M&S, I believe. Here's a hot theory for you. Okay. I truly believe that M&S is headed by the witch that fed Hansel and Gretel and was trying to cook them into a little pie. Because the majority of stuff from M&S is so fat rich and content rich and like calorific that the only... Like if you buy a Colin Caterpillar cake, which is I think Tesco's, and then
I saw one in M&S yesterday.
No, but so it's not a Colin cake. That's a Cuthbert, I think, and Aldi have a Kevin. You know what I mean? They've all got their own.
Yeah, Kevin. Yeah.
Like they're all just Swiss rolls, but the name of the Caterpillar is different, so that it's legally distinct, so that none of them can sue each other. It's fucking the whole thing. Anyway, the M&S equivalent of that compared to the Tesco equivalent is like 50% more calories.
So you're thinking the witch from Hansel and Gretel not only
survived through time.
Yes.
And, you can't lure kids into a sweetie chocolate house anymore, gingerbread house. That's crazy.
So you think she's luring children into M&S?
Well, no, I think she's lured the parents in, who then feed the children, who then she scoops up, probably in a white transit van, cooks them, eats a pie.
and uses her witch powers to make her one of the most popular supermarket brands in the UK.
Yeah. If I was going to have witch powers, I'd use it on anything to be making myself rich. What are you not getting, Gavin? You're saying all this stuff like derisively, like you're taking the piss out of me. But I'm 100% right.
I'm surprised that if you had witch powers, you wouldn't just give yourself a bike. Do you know who else would
If I had a wish, Gavin, you fucking fool. You fucking idiot. If I had 3 wishes, I would wish for a bike. If I had witch powers, I would make myself rich. What are you not understanding?
Do you know what we never discovered last week?
What?
I mean, last month.
10 minutes ago.
10 minutes ago.
Don't tell people that.
When we recorded that other episode.
Gav sent me a note in between. Everyone will like this. Gav sent me a note from the last time we recorded to this time saying, "Can you please not say that we record these back to back?" Fuck off, Gavin.
I want the mystique to be left alive.
Fuck off, Gavin.
And not that it's currently early November while we're recording this, and there is no snow, and there is no Christmas music. Saying that, do you want to know something that's depressing?
We record them back to back, Gary. It ruins the mystique and illusion.
Do you want to know something that makes Christmas? Because I mean, Christmas can be a jolly time of year to people. Do you know what will make it a depressing?
Christmas is exclusively a jolly time.
Well, not for me.
You don't refer to any other time of year as jolly. It's an exclusively Christmassy adjective.
Fine, but do you know what makes it not jolly? Is if you're in, say, a Burger King, which maybe I was, and they're playing off-brand weird Christmas music, but the speakers are broken, so all the sounds are like this. So it's just like, have a holly jolly Christmas.
It's not an off-brand song. That's a
but it wasn't
classic.
It wasn't the original like
bah humbug Christmas rapping.
I'm just saying if you're sitting there eating a chicken royale, which is fucking expensive now to get a chicken royale.
You did this the other week there in the month of December, and now playing Christmas music. Yeah.
Yes, this was in December. I did this, not November. Yesterday when I was at work, and I eated a chicken royale, and they were playing the Christmas music, but not the original version of the songs, and the speakers were broken.
It's awful.
That makes Christmas non-jolly.
Do you know what makes Christmas extra jolly?
What's that?
Santa Claus. He's the most jolly motherfucker in the world.
Why are you talking like that?
Because I'm injecting personality into this podcast. This lifeless lump that you insist on dragging me out for once a month to record 2 episodes. And I have to fucking look at you. People come back for me. They skip through your parts.
Jesus Christ. They're just like, when you got to be 15-second skip on Spotify, and they're like, dun,
fuck, is that guy still talking?
Dun.
Get me to the English, dickhead.
Australian, actually.
Australian, English, Eastern American. Could be from anywhere. Nobody knows. Santa's the jolliest part of Christmas. And for today's episode, we are going to be discussing... Because we just can't we exist in the 80s and 90s. Our nostalgia runs rampant. Because of that, we are discussing which movie Santa would break into Nakatomi Plaza the best, or survive in Nakatomi Plaza. John McClane doesn't break in.
Does it make more sense for Santa to be John McClane or to be Hans Gruber?
Or Argyle.
The guy with the jumper that he drives?
No, the limo driver that helps John McClane.
So you want Santa to, in our scenario that we're going to play out, you want the entire scenario is, can Santa sit in a limo? Can Santa drive limo well at end of movie?
And has a walkie-talkie.
And has a walkie. Does he have a walkie-talkie? No, I think he just sits there and listens to the radio.
No, they speak. Maybe it's a phone. Maybe he rings him in his limo car. I can't remember. They definitely discuss something at one point. Because then Argyle comes up at the end and he's like, the policeman's like, get back, sir. And he's like, no, I know John McClane's in there. Considering that's like one of the earliest incarnations of the buddy cop genre, which I think was then like completely lifted in Die Hard 3. Was Die Hard 3 one?
Die Hard 3 the one with Samuel L. Jackson.
Is that the first buddy cop? It's one of the earliest iterations. Anyway, considering Die Hard is like the earliest iteration of like a buddy cop where...
You've got like 48 Hours and stuff. I'm sure that was beforehand, like Eddie Murphy and what's his name?
Oh no, fuck, I'm talking pish because Call Me Mr. Tibbs is the original buddy cop.
Yeah.
In the Heat of the Night?
I wouldn't really call In the Heat of the Night a buddy cop movie, to be fair. I'm going to just say that right now.
Die Hard, John McClane and Argyle are like buddy cops, but Argyle does, you're right, fuck all. It would be a terrible option. I think we make Santa Claus John McClane.
Yeah, that makes the most sense. Not the guy who sits in the fucking limo.
Right, fine. Also not the fucking Hans Gruber who gets
Why not?
blasted off a building.
Because
at the end.
then Santa could have been like, who would have been Santa's fucking squad? How well would he have shot the
Elves.
guy that drinking the coke?
Pretty well. He's a villain.
What accent would he have chosen to do?
German.
Fine.
Also, all the Santas, if we're making them Hans Gruber, are played by Alan Rickman.
Yeah.
Basically, if we're doing it that way around, I've already decided everything's the same. Hans Gruber's wearing a Santa hat.
So it makes more sense for Santa to be John McClane.
Infinitely more sense.
So what Santas do we want to do?
Tim Allen.
Tim Allen's the obvious one. That's the
Locking
first
that
one
one in.
everyone's going to come to mind. We obviously, because we're old, I don't know how many people have seen the movie. Hopefully a lot. You got to do Richard Attenborough's.
But everyone's seen Miracle on 34th Street.
I don't know if it's that.
Is that an old school reference?
It's quite
though?
old. I don't know how many kids are watching Miracle on 34th Street.
I'll be honest. If I ever have a kid, I'm not going to make them watch Miracle on 34th Street.
It's a bit.
It's boring.
It's
Matilda's in it.
It's like a courtroom drama more than a Christmas movie.
I, to be perfectly honest, can barely remember it. I remember Richard Attenborough's in it. Matilda's in it. Nobody believes he's Santa.
Yeah, so they go to court. What more could you want from your Christmas
Is
movie?
that the plot? They go to court?
To prove that, because he's like, they sue him and stuff for like pretending to be someone and lying and blah, blah, blah.
What? Wait, why are they suing? Who's suing him?
Because they're like, there's no way he can be Santa. And corporate America in the 80s is just like, well, how did we solve this? Well,
But why do they need to prove he's Santa? I thought he was just like a corner Santa raising money for charity.
I think he's doing stuff that fucks people over or annoys people, and they're like, well, I want to prove you're Santa because I'm an evil man and I want to make you look foolish.
I'm going to disprove he's Santa.
So I'm going to take you to court and take him to court. And like, oh, it turns out he is Santa.
Fine. Well, we're putting it in. Richard Attenborough. Me and Hannah watched recently Christmas Chronicles, which has a sequel.
Why did it in early November did you watch Christmas
I
Chronicles?
thought this was in December, Gav.
Oh yeah, it is in December. But I've already said it isn't. So
Look, fucking pick a line. Do you want to lie about it being December, or do you want to admit that it's in November?
fine, it's currently December.
Right. Because Hannah likes watching Christmas films, she starts in November.
Okay.
And I'm married to her. So guess what I get to watch in November, Gav? Fucking Christmas films.
Is that true?
Yeah, I hate it. She's waiting. She cannot wait to bust out Christmas with the fucking cranks. Was that me?
What?
What the fuck was that noise?
There was no noise. Oh, you're truly losing it now.
My windpipe made a high-pitched squeal.
Well, thankfully we've recorded
That sounded like a man fell down inside of me. That was wild. If that got picked up on microphone, that is the oddest noise I've
I'll
ever
send
heard.
you the clip if that got picked up.
Check the time right now.
I've got it. I know it.
Holy... No, you won't. You'll forget it. What was the
What?
clip? I'll just write it down. That's crazy. If that gets picked up, that's wild.
If it didn't, this doesn't play at all on.
So, Christmas Chronicles, Kurt Russell plays Santa Claus.
Yeah.
He's badass. He's sexy. He wears hot boots.
Yeah.
He wears a
I've only
fucking
seen some-
dynamite jacket.
Seen some of the first, not the second.
It's a good film. I liked it. He's kind of badass.
So you liked it, but you don't enjoy watching Christmas movies.
I don't
with
enjoy
your
watching
wife.
Christmas films in November, but I like a good film.
Enjoy doing things with your wife, you pleb.
I enjoy doing many things with my wife.
Oh no.
Raw dogging her.
Well, she'll never hear this. So you're fine.
Exactly. I can say, oh, fuck, my mum will.
And she'll tell her.
I was joking, mum. That's a
I was
joke.
joking. I've never had sex.
I'm a virgin.
Even though I'm married, I still wouldn't have sex.
I said this to Hannah the other day because I seen a tweet
She-
about it.
you
I'm not gonna pretend this is my joke.
Whatever you're
But
about to do, you shouldn't do.
The tweet that made me laugh because it's like when your nan asks like, "Oh, are you trying for a baby?" and you get to straight face look her in the face and go, "Yeah, nan, I'm raw dogging her every night and coming in her." And that's completely acceptable because it's okay to talk about that around the dinner table. And I was like, that's fucking funny.
Oh.
Because anytime someone's like, "Oh, are you trying for a baby?" and you say yes, the subtext nobody speaks about is that we're all accepting. We've now just established I'm having sex with this person without protection and doing loads in her.
So are you and Hannah trying for a baby?
No.
Oh.
But it made me laugh. So Kurt Russell. I don't remember any other Santas.
See, this is the problem that I have when you came up with this idea, is I don't watch that many Christmas movies, unless, of course, it's Die Hard, which is the only Christmas movie. Lads. But a Christmas movie I do watch that I think we should just do is just Elf.
The Santa in Elf is terrible. He's like in it for 5 minutes.
Not the Santa, just Elf. Just Will Ferrell's Elf. Because let's be honest, most people who listen to this will have seen Elf and will like Elf. And so people want to hear us talk about Elf.
I also think he's
rich.
I think he's going to do well in
He's
this,
rich in comedy.
actually. We need one more. 5 would round it out.
And the fifth one, obviously, probably everyone thought of this one before Tim Allen, even though Tim Allen's the most popular and well-known Santa Claus, is the Santa Claus from Futurama, which is the evil killing death robot.
Evil killing death robot Santa. Voiced by John Goodman in his original incarnation.
What was the voice? Yeah.
And then switched to, I believe, Joe DiMaggio or Dan Castellaneta.
Yeah. You definitely knew that and I didn't.
Yeah, because I rewatched Futurama a couple of years ago, and the first episode I was like, holy fuck, that's John Goodman. And then I looked it up, and it says it's John Goodman. And then it's like, but after season 1, episode 1, Christmas episode, every other time they did not have the money.
Have you also seen that Futurama's now back and it has 2 more seasons on
Hulu?
On Hulu, it's like this show
can't die,
unkillable,
which is great.
So there are 5 Santas. We're gonna have Tim Allen from Santa Claus. We're gonna have Kurt Russell from Santa Chronicles or whatever it's called.
Christmas Chronicles.
We're gonna have Richard Attenborough from Miracle on Santa 34th Street. Then we've got Elf from Elf.
Will Ferrell's Elf.
And then we've got Santa from Futurama.
And a literal robot with fucking flamethrower arms and a bazooka. I know who's going to do the best.
I wonder who it could be.
All right, we need categories then. Man, we haven't done a list episode in forever.
It's like season 2 episode.
I like how you pretend like people even fucking remember the seasons.
I remember the seasons, and I will keep the seasons. We're in season 3 currently.
John McClane is stealthy as shit. It's a key part of Die Hard.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, yes, to stealth around. So
stealth ability.
how stealthy is the Santa Claus?
I'm gonna write that down. Stealth. John McClane is
Violent.
Violent as fuck. Ho, ho, ho. Now I have a machine gun.
Exactly.
Do you know who's going to do that bit the best? Robot Santa.
So how prone to violence is this Santa?
Bang.
How prone / how good?
How well, and I feel like all of these are going to do pretty well, so we're going to have to get into the real nitty gritty of it. How well they can go through the vents a la chimneys.
How well they can vent.
Because like a chimney and a vent.
I'll tell you something. The old Missy, she can vent quite well.
We're
both.
What else is the quintessential John McClane things? What's the point of Die Hard? He's coming home because he wants to meet his wife Holly.
How good of a family man he is. How good of a father he is. Father Christmas, how good of a father he is.
Has he got a kid in the first Die Hard?
Or
is he not just coming back for his kid? No, for his wife.
Come back for the wife, but I feel like...
Is she preggers? His wife's name's Holly as well.
It's mental how many times I've seen this movie and I can't... I think he's just coming back for the wife.
But then long term he becomes a good father, right? Die Hard 4...
No, Die Hard 4 is like he's estranged from the wife but sees the kid. One of the kids.
So he's a good father. That's what I just said.
Okay.
What do you mean you don't know?
I mean, he's not that great. Like,
tune in.
His kid gets...
Tune into the episode. I'm sitting right here.
Fucking, in Die Hard 4, she gets kidnapped. And in the 5th one...
Okay, so is this going to be like our weird one where actually the lower they rank, the better it is for the score?
Yes.
Because what we're saying is we don't want him to be a good father. Because you've just argued that John McClane's not a good father.
I would say he's not a good father.
So we want our Santas to be bad fathers.
Yes.
Kurt Russell's just going way up.
Plus, it's what I'm used to, so you know.
Okay, so the higher... Oh, fuck, I hate when we do this because I can never figure it out in the scores. But the higher, the lower, the worse they are, the better the score.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, what's the last one? Goo? Because you always have a goo. Oh, goo. How many goos are in the Ghostbusters? Goo, goo. What else did you do? Men in Black was goo. You did goo in everything.
I did not. No.
You gooped up every fucking
And the one
episode.
where it was like, who would be the best to live with? I did Human Remains.
Which is basically goo.
It's basically good. This one, how about how well he says yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker? How convincingly he can say yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. And you think,
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
yeah, that's badass. There we
That
go.
was mine.
So,
You do your best, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Not great. What did you think of mine? Did you hear mine, or were you too busy talking?
I was too busy talking.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Okay, that's pretty good, yeah.
Pretty good, right?
Yeah.
I got the
Yeah.
gravelly voice.
Send in your yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers.
Please, actually do. Best yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. We'll get you in on an episode.
Well, you'll get to guest on an episode. The best yippee-ki-yay motherfucker gets to guest on an episode.
That's a great
And you get to
Christmas
talk
gift.
about whatever you want.
Whatever you want. Yeah. If you send us in a yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker, we'll get you in. And you can, guest episode. Absolutely. We're going to do that again in the end.
Locked in.
Locked it in. All right, let's fucking go. We'll start with, we do them in order. Tim Allen. No stealth. on top of being, which are we going Tim Allen 1? Are we going Santa Claus 1, where he's the least experienced, or are we going Santa Claus?
This is the thing we always need to figure out, is which movie are we talking about from the characters?
So Richard Attenborough is Will Ferrell's Elf. I only have one film. Robot Santa from Futurama has no real character arcs. He's an evil robot, and he ends an evil robot.
Yeah.
Kurt Russell's Christmas Chronicles.
Just do the first one.
It doesn't really change much between the two of them. He's still just being a badass, cool guy Santa.
Yeah.
So the only one that really improves is Tim Allen.
I want him least improved because that's more interesting.
Santa Claus 1.
For improv.
Awful stealth.
Why?
What do you mean, why? One, it's Tim Allen. So when he's trying to squeak around, when he's trying to when he looks through the vent and he sees Hans Gruber there, and Hans Gruber's like, yes, we're here to steal from Nakatomi Plaza. What was that?
Can you imagine when he's talking to the FBI over the radio stuff, and he's just like, who's up there? Like, what's going on? And he goes,
Remember that from Home Improvements?
Oh, that's the other thing. Of what if the Home Improvement Tim Allen bleeds into the Santa Claus Tim Allen?
Oh, it has already in my memory.
In a lot of
that's
Nakatomi Plaza, there's just like unfinished DIY work. So what if he just starts doing DIY work?
So he's fucked. He's absolutely fucked. One, he's noisy as shit. Two, he's doing DIY for inexplicable reasons.
The Germans just walk into like floor 118 and he's just like rebuilding a fucking paneling wall.
Doing the whole thing. Just like, hey guys, can you hand me the 4-inch heads, flathead screws? On top of that, as Santa Claus 1 Santa, he's like the least experienced Santa. So he's like, because I'm pretty sure he gets caught in the first Santa Claus, like trying to put the gifts under the tree.
Well, yeah, he's
Like being stealthy is a good Santa quality anyway.
yeah.
So if he's a bad Santa, which he is in Santa Claus 1, he's sucking on all fronts. He's no John McClane and he's a bad Santa.
So yeah, stealth wise,
He still has, he's still like a full-fledged, he's not an idiot though.
but if he's doing
So
DIY,
he's going to be attempting, although he's doing DIY.
keep that
I'm
in mind.
going to give him a 2 out of 5 personally.
2, I'm fine to support 2.
I don't think he's like the worst we're going to see, but he's not
When
great.
it comes to stealth, I don't know. Well, yeah, actually, he's not going to be the worst.
Violence prone. Super violent.
Is he?
Not like blood and gore, but he's...
he did kill his
he kills
predecessor. He killed his
does kill the original Santa.
predecessor to get
He's got a
his
tool
job.
belt, which has got plenty of weaponry on it.
He's got drills and stuff,
It's,
eh?
it's melee. He's melee range, but
He is,
he's like,
he is melee range.
but he's got chisels. He's got hacksaws.
He's like, ho, ho, ho,
hammers.
now I have a chisel.
Ho ho ho! Now I have a Tim the Tool Time Tailor's branded
Tool belt.
tool belt.
But imagine Alan Rickman saying all of that. Ho, ho, ho. Now I have a Tim the Toolman Taylor branded tool belt. That's a terrible Alan
And
Rickman.
because that was an awful Rickman.
You do it then.
Ho ho ho! Now I have a Tim the Toolman Taylor tool belt.
Okay, that was better.
I'm pretty good at impressions.
Rest in peace, Alan Rickman. You're a legend.
He was a legend. I liked him in Dogma, where he had no willy.
I liked him in Galaxy Quest, where he was just fucking having a time.
He always wears the headset piece in that film. In every scene he's in. It never comes off. It gets like super frayed and shit. But
Oh yeah, it gets like torn up and
but
shit.
it's always on.
I love it. That movie's great. The best unofficial Star Trek movie.
It's good. What I was also going to add to violence prone is that Tim Allen himself, if we're accepting that Tim Allen is bleeding into the character, is just a maniac.
Is he?
Oh, Tim, you wouldn't. If I was, I wouldn't want to get in a fight with Tim Allen. I feel like he's a biter. You know what I mean?
I think there is a repressed rage within Tim the Toolman Taylor because he is at home a lot with the kids. He's also a media star. He's a TV personality.
I was going to say he's not at home a lot with the kids. He's always coming back from he's like a TV show.
He's a TV personality, so there's an ego, and then when he comes home and he
does have an ego. I think he beats his kids.
I think
not on screen.
No,
but I do think.
But I think they had a rough upbringing.
I think he'd be a slapper. He'd be like, "Dad, we broke a window and we were like playing with your nail gun," and he'd be like, "All right, cool, come through. It's time for a spanking."
Gets like a wooden thing and just starts smacking them.
Like a 2x2.
And I
drills holes in it for the maximum air.
Not to come after his wife, but she did seem complacent in my eyes. And I think she would have just could have stood by while it happened, you know?
What was his mate's name? Al.
Al, yeah.
And then Wilfred.
Wilson was through the... And he was definitely a kiddie fiddler of some kind.
Oh, I know.
Because he was just watching them all the time.
Just the head.
Just breathing heavily.
I'm not going to say... I think he's like a 3.
For violence?
Yeah.
Now, do we want violence to be high? Like,
you want violence? Like John McClane has to shoot people. That's like the super violence.
John McClane's like a 10.
I thought we were doing this out of 5.
I thought we were doing it out of 10. We always do it out of 10.
I mean, whatever.
Anyway, John McClane's... So if John McClane's...
If we're doing it out of 10, I'm going to give him a 5. I think he's down. I think he's right down the middle.
You think
you don't think so? He's got his tool belt of melee weapons.
But he's... how quickly is he going to get wiped out? They have machine guns. Famously, they have machine guns.
Yeah, but he has Santa magic.
Are we counting Santa magic in this?
He's got a little bit.
Or is this just Tim the Toolman Taylor with a tool belt?
And in a Santa outfit.
In a Santa outfit.
Well, no, he still has to have the Santa magic a little bit. Maybe he's not like... Well, as we said, he's not full-fledged Santa magic, but he's got a little touch.
Do you know... 6.
I think that's high. I said 5. You argued me on it, and now you've gone for a higher number.
But then I went, and as you were talking, I went through my head and went, he's got the tool belt, he beats his kids, he killed Santa. So, he's a violent man.
I'm saying, all right, 6. We'll do 6. I was going to give him 5. I was going to override you, but I'll give him the 6. Vent work. Terrible. I think awful.
Why is he terrible?
Well, he's fat as shit.
They're all fat as shit. Well, I guess
No, Kurt Russell's not.
We'll get there. But
Tim Allen, no, but think about Santa Claus 1. He puts it on.
He podges up
real quick. He can't get rid of it as well. He tries.
And John McClane himself struggles to get through the vents. So
what it comes down to is how much Christmas magic helps our Santa Clauses. And as we've established, he's not one. He's fat as shit, and 2, he's not got the most Christmas magic.
So are we thinking that if Tim Allen Santa Claus doesn't die from gunfire while he's doing DIY, or close quarters combat,
if he's made it through to the vent portion of, if he makes it to the vent portion,
then he's probably just going to get stuck in there and then die.
I don't know if he'd die because he could probably tool his way out.
How's he tooling his way out of a vent?
Unscrew the screws. He's got his power drill, and he'd be like, and he'd fall a bit of a distance. Comical. Think about it. Think how slapstick Santa Claus was.
Okay.
He'd fall a distance. Hans Gruber would be like, "What's happening here?" And then he'd crawl out the vent, and he'd be like, "Ho ho ho! Now I have a hammer." Start cracking skulls.
Oh, now I have a vent stuck around my stomach, and the bullets bounce off of the vent.
And if anything, it helps him.
I forgot to take into consideration that he is DIY handy, so he could DIY his way out of the vent.
Because you very quickly decided to merge Tim the Toolman Taylor with Santa Claus is Santa Claus.
When it comes to Tim Allen, he has 3 characters. He has Buzz Lightyear, he has Santa Claus, and he has Tim Allen.
It's true. I'm not arguing. I've already committed to this as with you. But
at the end of Die Hard, when he has to jump off as the explosion's going off, his wings are going to come out and he says, "To infinity and beyond," and he's going to fly off. He's going to fly next to the FBI helicopter.
I think the vent work's low. I think the vent work's not great.
He can't move quickly and effectively around the vents.
And he's not got enough Christmas magic to to supplement his ability.
He can get out of them, but he can't get back in to do anything.
Or if he gets in, he might get stuck. So what?
Yeah.
It's like a 3 or a 4?
I'm thinking 2.
2. Ooh. Well, I said a 3 or 4, so we'll go for the middle 3.
Okay.
How good a father is he? Now, we already touched on this a little bit.
Piece of skit.
However, now, I do not agree with beating you. Well, beating you. I don't agree with smacking your kids or being a corporal punishment father.
Okay.
And yet, all 3 of his kids, as we know from Home Improvements, went to college. They had good lives. They seem pretty well-rounded. In the Santa Claus, he's a bad dad. He learns the message of being a good dad. He lets the kid help him deliver presents.
So you're saying, despite earlier where we said he is a father,
I think he's a violent father. I think he's a strict father. However, I think the children he's raised
the long-term effect
have responded well to it.
to the violence.
To the violence.
Well, we're going down a slippery slope.
Well,
with
no,
this one.
I don't agree with it. Is what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, some kids do get smacked.
Some kids respond well to being beaten, is what we're thinking.
I feel
Well,
like
what
maybe
you're
we-
thinking.
I
not
feel like maybe we said beaten, and that's too harsh a word. What we should have gone for is like
Slapping.
slapped.
Okay. Are we slapped behind the ears? You know,
Yeah, or on the bum.
okay.
So, from what we know about it, the Home Improvements, the kids they all grow up fucking. They all grow up well, and they're well rounded. And then, like I said, the kid in Santa Claus
He
is
does go on to become a better father.
like becoming Santa makes him a better father in the Santa Claus.
So
I think pretty high.
I'm thinking 7 or 8.
I was going to say 7 or 8. Which one?
Let's-
Eight's if we're feeling generous. 7's if we're feeling.
I want to say 7 because he is still inflicting
It's true. Yeah.
violence. Man, we just give a violent father a 7 out of 10 for being
Slapping. Yeah, but he doesn't slap the kid as the Santa Claus. He's just forgetful.
so, he falls asleep, slaps, wakes up. So what have I done? Where did this bruise on my son come from?
Quality of the yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
I mean, he's just going to go, oh? He's not going to say yippee-ki-yay.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Oh, that's... I
I'm
do
bringing
like
it
that.
round.
Oh, you brought me... Because at first I thought it was just going to be, but the yippee-ki-yay motherfucker, like, you did it better, but...
Ooh, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
I was originally going to go for 0, but now I've gone up to a 9.
It's not menacing, but it's very whimsical.
It would throw the German villains off, you know?
I'll give him a 9. I'm fine with a 9.
I'll support the 9.
You liked it.
I liked it. I went from he can't do it to you brought me fucking swinging round.
Around. Okay, so
We'll save all the scores for the end.
yeah, obvious. Gav,
I just thought
I know we haven't done it since season 2, but I remember.
it seemed like you were about to just say it.
Nah, fuck off.
Do you think we should check in with Roland and see how he's up, what he's up to?
Aye, how's he feeling after the last episode? Hey, Roland, what you been up to in this last month?
In the last month, I learned what it means to be happy. The last time you met me, I was in a really dark place.
You being a miserable shit last time.
It's because my father has left me. He travelled through time to go fuck a space station from Deep Space Nine.
He does love going for time fucks.
So I just felt lonely, but then I discovered that through the joy of this podcast and the movies, that I can have love in my heart again. I become obsessed with the character Garfield and lasagnas.
Can I ask you a question?
Always.
That day that I took you to the zoo, why were you trying to get into the penguin enclosure?
Because my eyesight is still not fully formed.
You don't even have eyes. What are you talking about?
But my digital eyesight.
Oh, digi eyes.
I'm still digitally forming. In your human years, I would be about 11 or 12.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I grew quick, but not quick enough. So in my digital 12-year-old
Yep.
eyes, I thought the penguins were like the little chocolate bars that you eat. You know, and they got the jokes on the inside, and I wanted to have a wee nom 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 on them. So I was gonna peel them open and make them like a chocolate bar.
Do you know they're just bourbons?
The what?
They're just bourbons. Sorry, not bourbon. They're just bourbon biscuits.
As a 12-year-old new sentient being, I don't understand what a bourbon is.
It's a type of chocolate bit. It's a bit like a Garibaldi.
Garibaldi?
Oh, Garibaldi. Fuck off. I'm done with you. Bring back Gav.
I'm gonna go try other chocolate biscuits from around your primitive world now. Thank you. I'll see you soon.
See you a bit, Roland. Stay away from the penguins, you little fucking pervert. I know what you're up to.
Bye.
I saw what you were trying to do.
I'll tell you, that Roland's an odd one.
He's a weird kid.
I just went to the toilet, and when I was in there, I could just hear him being like talking about fucking penguins or something.
It's what he was trying. He had a whole thing lined up. I feel like he knew I clocked him, but he was definitely trying to fire into the penguins.
I mean, from my personal standpoint, that's not the animal I would choose, but you know.
That's one, you can't beep that out. So now that's one, people are going to 20 questions this shit by the end of the episode.
They'll just have to, you know.
Kurt Russell. Stealthy as fuck, built like a fucking big cat.
Is he stealthy though? Because this is what I wanted to bring up earlier. Is the big coat.
Ooh, okay. Good point.
He's not, I mean, yes, he's like an action star. Almost like an action
might
man, you could say.
be.
But how mobile is he?
It might be like the reverse. You know, like when someone's not stealthy, they just go the other route. So they're
Yeah.
like zero stealth, but they just like bomb it. He might end up like that. So I feel like you're right. Maybe he's gonna like tank stealth, but violence prone.
So you're saying like he's gonna try to move around stealthy, but just bash into things and be bumbling and.
I think he's gonna like try being stealthy. The code's gonna be like tugging on shit. He's gonna be wearing his boots, and they're gonna be clomping, and he's gonna be like, you know what? Fuck this.
I don't need to be stealthy.
I don't need to be stealthy.
I'm Kurt Russell as Santa Claus.
I'm Kurt Russell. I'm going in. He's gonna like fucking kick a door off his hinges.
So 1.
I was gonna say 0. I feel like he's
Kurt Russell though. We have to give him at least 1.
is built like a big cat. He's got that feline
Mobility.
mobility. Yeah, I think he's doing pretty good. Yeah. All right. So we'll go for 1. Violence prone. Flipping it. As we've just said, I think he's gonna take to it like a duck to water.
He's like a superhero almost.
Oh, yeah.
He's like if Santa was in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yes. Why is? Oh, he did. He played Ego. I was about to say, why did he never go in the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
He was in Guardians too.
Yeah, he played Ego. I just said that.
Oh, I heard you say that. Don't smile at me like that. Yeah, he is like a Captain America or something, like a superhero, the way he moves about and uses his abilities. So violence-wise, I feel like guns, close quarter combat, all of that stuff he has.
I'm pretty sure in Christmas Chronicles they have a whole section where he just beats the crap out of some people.
Yeah, he knows kung fu for sure.
Yeah, it's great. It's fucking Christmas Chronicles is a good Christmas film. It's up there as one of the like.
Having just recently watched it in December.
Having just recently watched it in the month of December
with your wife, who only watches Christmas movies in December.
Who I'm raw dogging.
Because
let's go for a 9. 9 for Kurt Russell's
9,
violence.
yes, that poor woman.
Vent work.
Terrible.
Yeah, terrible. I think we're back to struggling there. The big code's not helping.
Big code doesn't help. Yeah.
If the vents are switched on, he's going to come out. His glorious mane of hair is going to be disheveled. He's not going to be looking good.
I'm going to put out there that I don't even think he considers venting.
You think so?
I don't think when he looks at the vents, he goes, "That's a waste of my time. I don't need, why would I sneak around?" And if he's not stealthing, vents are irrelevant to him. He doesn't even consider the vent. He just goes, "There's a door. On the other side might be a bad guy. Time to go through it. Let's get shit done."
However, he is good at chimneying. So if he was going to use a vent,
do you think
I think he's a better Santa than Tim Allen is what I'm saying. So I feel like
absolutely.
I feel like his Christmas magic would allow him more movement through the vents.
I'm thinking,
even if he didn't want to use them.
Let's say he uses vents like fast traveling in a video game.
That's what I was going to say. Pretty much,
he's just like, I want to be on floor 80 instead of floor 67.
I want to come out above Hans Gruber. I'm going to use that vent. Yeah. I'm going to use this one on the wall. I'm going to fucking come down
like
on top
Mario
of him,
with the pipes,
2-footed.
So venting started off bad. Turns out,
if he's using him correctly,
if he's fast traveling with vents,
he's
like fucking Batman.
Yes, 10 for the vents. Ooshed. How good a father? I think he sucks.
I mean, if he's out being a superhero,
he's too busy Santaing and superheroing.
He is too committed to the Santa superhero.
He's good at because Christmas Chronicles, he helps teach the other guy, the other bad dad, about how like the spirit of Christmas and family and all that
blah,
shit.
blah, blah. Jolly,
But he's
jolly.
not a good dad.
What do we think? So let's say he comes home and he's with the kids and the wife.
Yes.
What, on a day-to-day basis, is he like?
He treats the elves pretty fucking badly. In Christmas Chronicles, he treats the elves like not great. So that's the only allegory we have for him being a father.
Yes.
So I think it wouldn't. I think it like I can't imagine him looking at a little baby Santa and being like, "My son, I'm going to treat you better than these unpaid
These other
workers
little people
that I live with." You know, I think he's just gonna. He's not a great dad.
So he's like a Jeff Bezos when it comes to these Amazon factories.
Yeah, I think so. I think if he had a little Santa baby, he would put it to work as the earliest possibility.
So a 1? Or you want to go straight 0?
It might be a 0. It might be. He's not a good dad. But then he knows how to be a good dad. He just isn't a good dad. He's like one of those dads you'd meet at a bar who's like, honestly, I'm telling you, this is what you do. You got to go home. You got to tell your kid you love them, help them with the math homework, and put them to bed. And you're like, wow, thanks for that, man.
But then doesn't go do it
And then they
himself.
ring their kid and they're like, where are you fucking shit? No, I'm at the bar. No, you know what? Get out of the fucking house. Anyway, don't do that with your kids. Learn from, you know what I mean?
I'm allowed to be a bad dad, so you can be a better dad.
Maybe a 1.
Give him a 1.
Give him a 1.
You at least phoned his son.
Quality of the yippee-ki-yay motherfucker.
I mean, it's Kurt Russell.
It's
you know?
Kurt Russell. He's going to deliver it with style and panache. I feel like he's not going to oversell it, though. That's
I'm
the one.
thinking Kurt Russell, Snake Plissken from Escape from New York saying yippee-ki-yay motherfucker. That's just cool, you know?
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm too tired. Maybe later.
Yeah.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Oh, it's a good one. It's not as loud, but
No,
it's like it's
like,
going
but
to
it doesn't
travel.
need to be,
It's
you know?
It's going to travel.
Doesn't need to be like, because you know he means it, because he's fucking Snake Plissken. I mean,
a good
Santa
yippee-ki-yay
Claus.
motherfucker. That was a great Gav. That was a great yippee-ki-yay motherfucker.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Oh, it's good. It's so good.
It's like silk in your ears.
I want to give it a 10.
It's like melting Rolos and then just getting into a bath of them, you know?
I want to give it a 10.
Give it a 10.
I'll give
it a 10.
Oh.
Oh.
He's been pretty decisive. He's like up and down.
He's either high or low. There's no in between with
no
him.
in between with Kurt. But then that's very Kurt Russell.
It's very Kurt Russell is a very straightforward person.
That brings us on to. I think this is they're gonna do the worst personally. Just as a hot, like off the button.
Is it perhaps because this character is more or less just a pensioner?
Just an old man. It's Richard Attenborough's Santa Claus.
Just an old man pretending to be something that.
So I'm gonna need you to lead this one because I don't remember this movie very well.
I mean, I don't even remember it that well.
He's all I remember of is he's just like a nice old guy.
He's just a nice old man. And little Matilda is like, oh, it's Santa Claus. He's like, yeah, I'm Santa Claus. And they're just like, no, you're not. And he's like, yes, I am. I was like, no, you're fucking not.
Okay, so should we speed run Richard Attenborough because we neither of us can remember it
But
particularly
I
well.
love the idea of playing out a pensioner in Die Hard, you know?
Okay.
Just imagine.
How well do you think an old little fat pensioner could stealth around Nakatomi Plaza?
I think an old pensioner could stealth well. Oh, have you had an epiphany?
Well, I've just realized he would be the perfect one to they would assume he's just an old man.
So they would see him as
They'd be like, right, up you get there with the up you go with the rest of the hostages.
They see him as no threat.
No threat whatsoever. He'd probably have maybe not free reign of Nakatomi Plaza, but he'd be like, oh, I'm in with the hostages, and then when the first bad guy, blonde villain one, blonde goon, turns away, he'd like slip out, and then when other blue-eyed brunette goon finds him, they'd be like, what are you doing here? He'd be like, oh, I just got lost. I was looking for the toilet. And they'd be like, come on, old man. You know what I mean? He just rinse and repeats that one bit until he gets where he needs to go.
I love the idea that one moment he's trying to like. I love the idea that one moment he's trying to stealth around a floor, and two of the like Hans Gruber's guys see him doing it, and they're just like, "What's he doing?" It's like, I don't know, but I'm kind of just like watching him do it. Like, let's just leave him. Like, he's not.
I think he's just old and confused.
Yeah, it's like he's not hurting
And
anyone.
it's the 80s. Nobody has a cell phone, so let's just let him. I don't want to rough up an old man.
The Germans were famous for loving their older generation, so they're just kind of, oh, You know what? That reminds me of my dad.
Yeah.
And the way he would like run around
So
the
I think
garden.
I think it's like it's not a good stealth score, but it's like he's still going to get around.
He's still going to get around.
It's a surprising, maybe like a 4.
It's like he thinks he's stealthing, and everyone sees him.
He's trying his best.
But it makes no difference that they see him.
Step 4.
Give him a 5 down the middle. You know,
Give him a 5.
give him a 5.
Violence prone.
Well, he can't do anything.
No, and also I don't think he'd want to. I think he's look at him in Miracle on 34th Street. He's like got the kids on his knees and he's wearing his little white gloves and he's touching their noses and being cute. He's not violent in the slightest.
There's no violence within his heart whatsoever. He's just a kind old
I think
man.
he's selfless.
Yeah.
Like if he was walking down an alleyway with Matilda and a robber appeared, he would jump in the way of a bullet.
100%.
But he wouldn't. It would never even cross his mind to be like, you should go and attack the robber.
His form of violence would be to walk into the main plaza of Nakatomi Plaza, where Alan Rickman is, and just be like, let them all go and take me.
Yeah. Which is unfortunately terrible. It's not. He's
Alan
zero
Rickman would be
violence
like,
prone.
just get with the fucking others.
It might work, but it's going as a 0 down on violence.
Because even if he gets a hold of a gun somehow, he'll just be like, I can't pull the trigger.
Exactly. If the children see Santa Claus doing this, the magic will disappear from the earth.
But then he also starts to get those thoughts because he's an old man and he's been around for.
Sorry, I just did David Attenborough. I got the Attenborough's confused.
Richard Attenborough, David Attenborough, yeah, the same thing.
But
But
Richard Attenborough ever done any like Planet Earth stuff
probably he's dead now, but maybe
before
before.
he died?
But
Do you reckon David was proper bummed out?
yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, back to my bit. You just
so angry there.
just steamrolled right through my great bit. When I was going to say that he just turns the gun on himself because he's old, he kind of wants to die, and he has to stop himself from pulling the gun on himself.
Bent work.
Again, can he
Can't
even
imagine.
get
Can't
in?
even- his knees are bad. He's old. He's just he is just the old guy. He's just an old guy. However,
I'm thinking of like
he's probably one of the best Santa Clauses, which means his Santa magic would help him get through the vents very well. Like he's just an old guy, but he's got
But how does he even get to the vent? The vent's high up.
Santa magic. How does he get up to the top of a chimney?
But then if we want to start introducing Santa magic for this guy, then he can just wish away all of the villains and their guns and everyone's safe.
what the fuck are you talking about? What do you think Santa Claus's powers are?
He can just turn the
They
gun.
can't wish bad guys away.
Okay, but he could just turn all their guns into water guns. And then
That's not what Santa Claus can do either.
But he can
Why
wish
are you
himself
acting
into
like-
a vent.
Why are you acting like Santa Claus has got some fucking reality stone, reality melding
Because I
powers?
think that's how else does he get across the
When?
entire world in one night?
When have
and
you
build
ever,
all those toys?
Because he's got a magic sleigh, Gavin, with a bunch of magic reindeer. You
and he
fucking
definitely
idiot.
slays.
He's got a magic fucking sleigh. Are you stupid?
But then
Santa Claus's powers can get through a chimney, no matter the size. Can get into any house. Can go around the world in one night, but that's because of his magic sleigh. Doesn't tire. Doesn't need to eat or drink on Christmas night. Does it though? Because he likes the cookies and the milk.
you know, needs a wee snack.
And he can make 6 billion toys in the case of a year.
So then why can't I think he brings in his elf pals to change the real guns into water guns then.
The elf pals will get shot in the fucking face, Gavin. Before they get near the guns. Are you crazy?
The look on your face.
Because you're talking like a maniac.
But you're just like, oh, he's just going to do magic powers in the vent. But
Because
he's,
that's a Santa Claus thing.
he's not allowed to do magic powers anywhere else. Don't look at me like that.
When? You give me one example of Santa Claus using his magic powers to change the physical properties of something.
I'm sure there's been
Santa
a movie.
Claus can make it snow. He can go down chimneys. He can get around the world in a single night thanks to his sleigh.
And Rudolph.
And Rudolph, whatever. That's his powers.
Can you name all of the reindeers?
Yes. His vent work's terrible. It's not terrible. His vent work as an old man is terrible. His vent work as Santa Claus is great.
Right, so
It's better than Tim Allen.
once he's in the vent, is he using his own his own old man power to move around the vent, or is he using his Santa magic power to move around the vent?
I think it's a mixture of both, but I do think
Because then it's
it
just a
hinders
10.
him.
Because then it's just
no, but it's not because he's still not as good as Kurt Russell.
no one's as good as Kurt Russell.
Exactly. I think but he's better than Tim Allen.
Everyone's better than Tim Allen.
So that's why we have to give him like a 5, maybe a 6.
Oh, let's go 5. I want to go down the middle 5 again.
All right. How good a father? This is where he shines.
I mean, he doesn't
This is his best one.
That one doesn't have any kids.
But he's so nice to Matilda
Yeah, but that doesn't make him a good dad. He's childless.
because he's Santa Claus.
But by that logic,
Sorry, that's another Santa Claus thing I forgot. Impotent.
Oh, when he was born, they irradiated his nutsack.
He'd be a great father. Look how nice he is to all the kids in. Maybe he's childless, but it doesn't mean he's a bad father. He'd be a great.
But then,
dad.
by that logic, you and I are great fathers.
I would be, yeah,
Why wouldn't I be?
because you're a terrible human.
That's so true. All right, but I don't.
Why are you trying to rail on Richard Attenborough Santa Claus?
Because he's so
hard?
nothing.
He is nothing, but of all the things that he can do, the being a good dad is the one.
I don't think. I think if he's childless, that makes him a bad dad. Because he's not
That's
a dad.
not-
Because his dad. If he's childless, he's not a good dad. So then he's a bad dad.
But think of Miracle on 34th Street. The one thing that film that I can remember is he's just nice to children.
Okay.
He's like the best to all the
But
children.
then why didn't he have his own child to be nice to that child?
Because he's impotent. I just told you.
I'm going generously 3.
Well, I was going to go for a solid 8-9, so we'll call it another 5. Quality of the yippee-ki-yay motherfucker.
Awful.
Awful. Yeah, I'm not arguing you this
So
one.
your old man yippee-ki-yay motherfucker.
Yippee-ki-yay motherfuckers.
That's quite good, Richard Attenborough.
Thank you. Or David Attenborough.
Or
I
David
can't remember what they sound like.
They both kind of sound like that, to be fair.
Yeah, like it doesn't instill fear. It's not cool. It just sounds like
It's like, welcome to Jurassic Park.
yeah, yippee-ki-yay motherfuckers.
Yes. It's like you're watching like Planet Earth, and there's like 2 lizards having a fight, and he's going yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
I'm giving him a 0.
Yeah, zero.
It's fun saying it as David Attenborough. Like it is fun, but in the content of the movie, terrible.
It's great
not
if you're watching Planet Earth and a dolphin is breaching out of the water and he's going yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. But if he's in Nakatomi Plaza saving lives and he's like out the window screaming yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker, people are like, what? What did you say? What was that?
doing.
What did you say?
Cool.
Skipping ropes on a jump track? What?
Will Ferrell's Elf.
Oh god, chaos. This is going to be
Chaos, pure chaos. Stealth.
awful.
Terrible.
He's going to be.
No, yeah, terrible.
He's just going to be wandering around different bathrooms looking for a naked woman singing in the shower.
True. That's all he was.
He's just like
his kryptonite.
he just keeps walking in, just going la 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 la. Oh, there's not one in
No,
here.
no.
Walks in, la 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 la, and then just like gets.
To counter though,
Okay.
he does break into the department store and doll it all up for Christmas overnight, and nobody finds him.
Okay, but the department store in Elf is not manned by German mercenaries with machine guns. Just want to level that one out.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. What do you think? 2? A 1?
Yeah, because it's him walking around. Hello, hello.
Yeah, he's naive. He's
Anyone
an idiot.
there?
Or maybe
Hello?
a 0. It might
Yeah,
be a 0
zero.
on stealth. Violence prone.
I think unintentionally.
Yeah, I was gonna say like slapsticky, like he'll be like, "Oh, hey, give me a hug, Mr. Gruber," and then he'll like clothesline 2 people as he runs
by
past them.
accident, kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
doesn't know what he's doing, and
But
then
like
like,
in a-
or he gets scared by like jumps and punches, and then just like
That
knocks
kind
someone
of
out.
Dumb shit. Yeah.
Like a 6 or 7.
I think, and I think if he really wanted to get into it, if he reached a point where he cracked a la Rambo.
Yeah.
I do think he would then become like the ultimate Christmas Rambo. They'd be like, or like Home Alone. They'd be walking into rooms and then like 2 whittled down candy canes would come and like stab them in the eyes. So you know what I mean?
So he builds like really dark Christmas Home Alone. Oh, we could have just.
I feel like it's depending how Will Ferrell's Elf gets through this and how mentally scarred he goes. He's either gonna like slapstick his way through to a victory or crack
And go to
become
a dark place.
maniac. Either way, violence prone. He's doing pretty well.
Yeah, oh yeah.
What do you want? What do you think?
Let's go 7.
I was gonna say 8.
Just go 8. I'll do 8.
Vent work. Can't use an escalator in Elf.
Can't use an escalator.
Also has 0 Christmas magic. No Santa magic to help
Nope.
him here. So it's entirely down to how bendy and flexible we
Will
think
Ferrell's like,
Ferrell's
6'5"?
elven body would be.
I'm also convinced that Elf is claustrophobic. I don't know why, I just feel he is.
I feel
like
right.
if you put like a duvet over his head, he gets scared and starts screaming. So if you put him in a vent with a lighter, which he's gonna like fire, he's just gonna
It's not great. It's maybe
0.
but he can still just. We just gave an old man a 5. But then he has Christmas magic. He has Christmas magic.
Yeah, he has the fucking magic you wouldn't let go.
Magic. Will Ferrell's elf is terrible, and he's huge. Yeah, maybe like a 1. I think he could like worm his way through it slowly.
But yeah, it would take a while.
It's not good.
And he's not making a lot of progress.
How good a father?
I mean, he's decent with if we go off the old one, he's not a father, so then it's like...
Yeah, see?
But he's nice to the kids. And his father, well, he'll learn from how bad his father was to him, and be a...
He's an infinitely optimistic and positive person, which is always good.
James Caan that played the dad? For a second I thought it was Peter Dinklage, but it's not.
I was going to say Peter Cushings, but it's definitely none of that.
Definitely not Peter Cushings. I think it's James Caan that plays the dad.
I think he'd be a good dad. He's not going to hit his kids, which is great. He's very nice and very friendly. A lot of positive reinforcement.
They get lots of sweets and
from
fizzy drinks.
I was going to say from the viewpoint of the kid, he's like feeding them shit for breakfast, which kids love.
They're eating spaghetti and Coca-Cola and Maltesers
and syrup. What are the 5 main food groups? Gumdrops, syrup, fucking
spaghetti.
Sugar. No, spaghetti is not one.
One of them is the spaghetti for sure.
No, that's just like the only carb he has. The rest of it's all sweet stuff.
I mean, my 5 main food groups are pasta, and sometimes a risotto.
I think he'd be okay. I think I think by your logic from the last guy, he's definitely worse than Richard Attenborough.
I mean, let's say if you were to make him a father right there and then, he'd be a terrible father.
Okay, so let's go back one. Why don't we just wait for Richard Attenborough as Santa Claus to pop it in someone and have a kid at the ripe old age of 95?
Well, that's not going to happen. Whereas
how do you know?
Because he's 95.
Do you know how it didn't happen? It didn't happen in the confines of the movie, and that's the fucking game.
The only
Gavin.
thing that is coming out of Richard Attenborough's penis is dust.
I think he'd be okay. I think
I'll go down.
I think he's less than Richard Attenborough, but like not a 1 or a 2, maybe a 4.
I'm fine with 4.
Quality of the yippee-ki-yay motherfucker.
It's going to be like a
high
yippee-ki-yay motherfucker.
Well, I think of when you think Santa's coming to town. High pitched, shrill, loud as fuck.
Santa's yippee-ki-yay motherfucker.
Yippee-ki-yay motherfucker!
Wow! Like
almost Chris Tucker-esque.
I mean, when he's out the window, they'll definitely hear him shouting it, but it's not.
It's very floaty as well.
It's not a war cry, you know.
Yippee-ki-yay motherfucker!
And they'll just be like,
it's not fun.
Makes me think rainbows, you know. It doesn't make me think.
Is it another 0?
Yeah, it's a 0.
It's another 0. It's bad. Okay. Which brings us to... I feel like we're going to have another Kurt Russell on our hands here.
That's why I'm about to call an audible.
Okay.
And I'm going to say we...
What the fuck's call an audible?
I'm calling an audible, which is... This is one of the... And it's a sports term.
Oh,
thank you very much. We're like, hey, I'm calling an audible. We're going to do this thing instead of that thing.
Yeah.
So we're going to pull out the Futurama Santa robot and we're going to throw in our favourite character, which I think appears in almost every episode at this point, Macaulay Culkin from Home Alone. He's going in instead.
Why?
Because we're just going to have another Kurt Russell with the death robot. Let's throw in a child to the scenario and see how the child fares.
I was going to say, but he's not a Santa. You skirted the boundaries of this game by putting in Will Ferrell's elf. You can't put in Macaulay Culkin. He's the literal child. He'll get shot.
That's what makes it funny.
Well, then 0 on everything.
No, stealth. Come on. Stealth and vents. He's going to do great.
Terrible at stealth.
How?
Those robbers know he's in the house constantly.
Yeah, but he's continuously stealthing around them to get to the next trap to set up on them. Like, if he can move that stealthy around a house, imagine what he can do in Nakatomi Plaza.
He's lived his entire life. He's not going to do well in Nakatomi Plaza.
He can find the blueprints pretty easily enough and figure out
I'm not letting you veto it. Robot Santa from Futurama is locked in.
Okay, let the people know that they lost out on Macaulay Culkin for Robot Santa from Futurama.
Stealth.
0.
Big, massive robot. Wouldn't even try to be stealthy.
Nope, just clumping around like a death machine.
Violence prone.
10.
10. Absolutely. Guns flamethrowers, bazookas. He's got it all.
Grenades,
chomping
bombs.
metal teeth, grenades.
Like a fucking predator with a minigun on its shoulder, like War Machine, pretty much.
His vent work.
It wouldn't even bother with the vent. Doesn't need to.
Wouldn't bother with it. However, I will throw in a little razzmatazz here. I think he might use the vents to create death traps.
Okay, but then why would the mercenaries go into the?
Oh,
death?
they wouldn't. But he'd like rip them off the wall and then fashion like a robot reindeer that he'd roll. You know what I mean? Like I feel like he would use quite happily what's at his disposal.
So you're thinking he becomes kind of maliciously creative with his...
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's still not it's not within like what we would get hoping.
So
to get
instead of the ho 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 now have a machine gun, it's a metal razor rainbow reindeer that goes ho 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 and then explodes and takes out like 2 floors of the building.
Yeah, made out of vents.
But then does that count as venting?
It's vent work. It's vent work. He also does have Christmas magic, so he would still be able to get through a chimney.
Does he have
Not
Christmas magic?
the best, but I think he can still chimney about in Futurama.
He can chimney about. I mean, I think you're working an odd technicality with the vent.
I am.
Like you're taking liberties with the vent work.
You wanted to change it to Macaulay Culkin. Get fucked.
Yeah, because his vent work would have been flawless.
I think it's nowhere near a 10.
No.
I think it's maybe a 6.
I'll accept 6.
He's got the Christmas magic. He's also going to use the vents maliciously.
Instead of climbing through the vents, he fashions them into weapons that he kills people with.
And if he did want to go through a vent, I think he can Christmas magic himself.
Okay.
I think. How good of a father they would be.
Awful. 0. He would kill his children in utero.
Well, I was gonna. Here's the thing as well. If we remember, so we've kind of like topped and we've swapped the children for the elves. Allegories throughout this.
Yeah.
In Futurama, as canon, the elves are an alien species that Santa has oppressed for the last X 100,000 years. And he forces them to work in his workshops to make the toys because he's the evil robot Santa.
What a great show.
Even within the confines of his own universe, he would be a terrible. So another 0, quite comfortably. Now, I think he's going to pull some points back here. Quality of the yippee-ki-yay motherfucker.
I mean, that has to...
It's John Goodman.
It's John Goodman. He's got that kind of gravelly metal...
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker! You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was a bit too Nixon, but like we're in that kind of...
It was a bit Nixon.
We're in that ballpark. It was a bit too Nixon. It's hard.
Just imagining Richard Nixon.
John Goodman's like so... How does he sound?
That's
still Nixon. I can't get out of Nixon. Wilma! That's better.
Okay, but now you need to...
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker! No, that's kind of Winnie the Pooh, like, but...
That was nothing like Winnie the Pooh. What are you talking about?
Oh, bother!
Oh, it's Winnie the Pooh.
It's me, Winnie the Pooh!
Do you know who we should let decide the final one?
Go on. Roland.
Roland should get to
Roland!
decide.
How well do you think John Goodman would say yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker?
Seeing as John Goodman is voicing a robot, and I myself and my father and my mother are mechanical things.
You do yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
God.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Alright, stop. Get out of here. Get out of here again.
I'll give him a 9.
Apparently give him a 9.
I don't know why he yeeted himself out the door there at the end.
He also smashed through the fucking window while he did it, which was the most annoying part. Like, I just got this lovely new balcony and he just had to go and smash out the door.
Fucked it, mate. Well,
now there's a draft coming in
big
and everything.
draft. It's
but
cold.
he did shout a 9 when he
but
left.
wait a minute.
Oh.
Can you see the snows just started to fall?
Ooh,
it's a real Christmas miracle, Gav.
It's Christmas outside.
In mid-November. Sorry, I mean 25th of December when we recorded this.
Yeah, we recorded this on Christmas Day and it probably released before Christmas Day.
Wow.
But we somehow recorded it on Christmas Day.
That's incredible.
Look at that. It's beautiful.
And the snow's falling down.
Oh, did you see that? Did you see Santa? And there he goes.
Oh, on his sleigh.
Which one was it though? Was it Elf or was it the Futurama one or was it Macaulay Culkin?
Can you hear that? A bell's ringing. And that means an angel gets its wings. I know that's less of a Christmas movie and more of a New Year's one with Clarence and
Oh, is that New Year here around the corner?
There's the bells.
Oh,
Here comes New Year.
Is that Jackie Bird? What's she saying?
New Year to you.
I don't know, what's this reference?
2003 brings you health.
So, he got a 9. Let's give the final scores to this. I am not looking forward to working with all of that.
Oh, yeah, good luck with that one.
Thank you.
Right, here we go. Final scores.
Final
Are we
scores.
starting at the bottom and working up?
Yeah, from worst to best. Let's do worst to best.
Bottom of the pile on 13 points.
Mm-hmm.
Who we both assumed was going to be there.
Yes.
Not there. It's
Oh.
Will Ferrell's Elf. 13 points.
Wow. I really thought he was going to be better for some reason.
Well, so he was kind of like good and shit, but mostly shit actually. He did terrible stealth.
What was his best category?
Violence.
Violence.
Then he was an okay father, and his vent work was much to be desired.
I just-
And then everything else we gave him a 0 on.
The sentence that he was an okay father, but his vent work was tremendous.
Following him, 15 points, right down the middle on 3 of them, and then 2 absolute stonkers. It was Richard Attenborough.
I honestly am surprised he's not.
I can't
last.
believe he beat Elf.
I guess he is a Santa, and Elf is not a Santa.
Actually, you know what? You're right. He's still the worst Santa on the list.
He is the worst
From 15, we've got 25, 27, and 32.
Wow.
25 points. It's Robot Santa Futurama.
Even with that 9 from Roland.
Even with the 9 from Roland. 27... This one has genuinely surprised me that he's so high. Tim Allen coming in second place, which means in first place, the svelte, the sexy, the action man, Kurt Russell's Christmas Chronicles Santa.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
So there you go. If you are ever trapped in Nakatomi Plaza in a Die Hard-like scenario,
And
or
a genie appears and offers you one single wish to have a Santa Claus come and save you, but it has to be a movie Santa Claus or Will Ferrell's Elf, you now know exactly who to pick.
Elf. Thank you for listening to this Christmas episode of the Meandering Movie Podcast. It's
Hopefully, I know.
Can I do my thing?
You do your thing.
You don't want to step on my thing anymore? Okay, I'm going to do my thing now. You're about to step on my thing, aren't you?
No.
This has been our version of a Christmas. Oh, he's doing a thing while I'm talking. I'm not going to look at him. I'm looking away. This has been our version of a Christmas Meandering Movie Podcast episode. We hope that you have a holly jolly Christmas. And do you know what you can do for us? You can give us the gift of likes, follows, subscriptions, and reviews. You can do all of that by going down into the description of this podcast, where you will find our Facebook, our TikTok, our Instagram, our Twitter, and everything. Go over there, support us, show us some love, and give us some Christmas joy.
I don't want that as my Christmas gift from our listeners. I would just like every listener to know that I appreciate you. And if you're going to give me anything, just get a friend to listen. Just find one episode and tell a friend, listen to that one episode. That would be fuck your likes and your whatevers. I don't
Also,
care about that stuff.
remember, if you send in your best yippee-ki-yay motherfucker,
And yeah, we've just done 5 impressions of 5 different yippee-ki-yay motherfuckers and a Richard Nixon bonus.
Richard Nixon.
6 different yippee-ki-yays. If you can send me your best Richard... No, if you can send me
Richard Nixon
If
impression.
you can send me your absolute best yippee-ki-yay, you can either do your best yippee-ki-yay motherfucker, or you can do your best in-character yippee-ki-yay motherfucker. Any character you pick. Put it in an email or a message, send it across.
Or a video.
Yeah, or a TikTok, duet us, whatever. Do any of these things. We'll get you in. Our favorite one will be a guest on this episode, and we'll pick something that you want to talk about.
You can talk about anything you want that's movie related.
Anything. It doesn't really need to be movie related, because let's
clearly
face facts.
clearly with what we do, it doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be. Thank you so much, everyone. It's been another fantastic year. Big love. Have a great Christmas and New Year.
We'll see you next year for whatever it is this is going to be.
Love you.
Bye!
Music is life.
It's Meandering Movies. It's Meandering Movies. It's Meandering Movies. So won't you lend an ear?